Welcome back. We are continuing coverage of our breaking news of what comes next with Venezuela after the capture of Nicolás Maduro by the United States. The U.S. plans to step in and fill a newly created power vacuum in Venezuela. That's according to President Trump on Saturday. He is looking for more than just regime change. He also said the U.S. will, quote, take back oil, assets, and land. NewsNation's Alicia Nieves has been looking into this. Alicia, a lot to break down here. What's going on? Good morning.
Yeah, a lot to unpack. We heard the president yesterday talk a lot about U.S. oil being stolen. We heard that from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. A lot of that stolen talk really dates back more than 50 years. And because it's been so long since there was American oil interest in Venezuela, there really are questions around how much of an appetite there is from big oil here in the U.S. to return to a nation that was first unfriendly for decades and now is in this turmoil. That despite Venezuela having one of the largest oil reserves on the planet. We're talking more than 300 billion barrels. And we're talking that's more or just as much as Canada and Iraq combined. The problem lies in Venezuela's aging and ancient infrastructure. While they have this massive oil reserve, Venezuela produces less than 1 million barrels per day. For context, Saudi Arabia pushes out about 11 million barrels per day. The U.S. doubles that. President Trump, though, really insistent on Saturday that oil companies will be flocking to Venezuela now that the industry will be under U.S. control.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
The issue is timing, though. For this kind of massive investment, right now it might not be ideal. As you can see, Brent crude prices, they've not been this low since the pandemic, at least 5 years. So you're talking about companies where profit margins are a little bit tighter. But why is the president of the U.S. then so interested in Venezuelan oil now? Despite these hurdles, perhaps this. Who stands to lose the most from the U.S. taking over Venezuela's oil production? China. That country imports about 80% of all Venezuelan oil, and we are in the middle of this tariff trade war with them. So perhaps some leverage in the back pocket of the U.S. A lot to unpack here, Hena, but really major news that the U.S. is going to control Venezuelan oil. And analysts saying before the strikes happened, the Trump administration actually had engaged with companies knowing this was to come.
And it's not just big oil. Wall Street already getting involved.
Yeah, we actually heard from the chair of several consulting firms, one of them telling the Wall Street Journal that there is already a group of hedge funds, asset managers planning to travel to Venezuela in the new year as early as March. And as of now, that trip will consist mostly of people from the finance, energy, and defense sectors. That planned Wall Street visit going to include meetings with the new government, when that happens, the head of Venezuela's central bank, and the stock exchange. Early estimates put potential opportunities in Venezuela between $500 and $750 billion over the next 5 years. All of that, though, is assuming Venezuela has a stable leadership. That's critical. And that the newly created power vacuum that is plugged very quickly and the country is stabilized, not plunge into civil war. So a lot of
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.